answer me this. If you had to buy a second-hand driver right now, how much would you spend and what driver would you buy? Because for me, right now is the perfect time to buy a second-hand driver. And realistically, there's only a couple of options I think represent fantastic value. That's what we're going to talk about in today's video, because I have a second-hand driver in my hands that I've picked up for what I think is a fantastic deal. And I also think it actually compares relatively well to even the 2023 drivers and will compare well to the 2024 drivers, of which we don't really know what's coming just yet. But if you don't want to break the bank and you want a driver that's relatively new, this is the driver I would buy. I'll hit a few with it before I show you what it is. And that's exactly why I would buy it. A lovely low spinning ball flight moving right to left, straight down the left-hand side of this fairway. And whatever driver you answered at the start of this video, obviously it's going to be relative to you. It may be a forgiving driver, a low spin driver, a draw driver, an anti-slice driver, or it may just be subjective to your budget. I got this driver from the guys at Golf Clubs for Cash. You can get anything there that you do want for any kind of budget. If you want a second-hand golf club, make sure you check out the link in the description below. And I certainly think that that represents great value, however much you want to spend and however much you believe in the technology the big brands do profess you're going to get. Oh, that wasn't the best. I'm not sure any driver would have saved that one. 4 left. But then no driver is perfect, and today I am talking about the Callaway Rogue ST Max LS. I love this driver. When it first came out, I wasn't a huge fan of the colour scheme of this, but then the technology that's in it, that kind of carbon effect on the bottom, the jailbreak at the front, the weight at the back, that gives you, again, just a little bit of forgiveness, even though it is a low spin driver, matched with that adjustable hosel carbon crown and a gorgeous looking AI designed flash face, really does work nicely. And this has a hazardous 6.5 shaft in there, which is a 60-gram shaft. So thereabouts for me. Not the perfect shaft I would have gone for, but then at Golf Clubs for Cash, you can retro-spec your shaft and buy a different one as well. So there's always that option for you. And today I am going to compare this against the Paradigm Triple Diamond. That's obviously the LS version of the Paradigms, and just see if it stacks up for the money. There we go. There we go. Nothing's getting past that. 275 quid and it's like new. And that's a big factor behind this, because I don't think you're going to get something that's this new looking. This looks like it's not been hit that many times for £275. Obviously the new Paradigm is going to cost you what, £450, maybe a little bit more. Can you go and get something that performs as good, especially around about Christmas time? Because who doesn't want a new driver for Christmas, right? Nobody wants a putter. Big dog, yes. And now I must admit, this is my favourite kind of video to make. It's almost my guilty pleasure, as it were, because everybody wants to save a bit of money, but also everybody wants a golf club that performs right for them. But do you have to spend the huge money? I'm aware that £275 isn't cheap by any stretch of the imagination, but it's more like it, isn't it? It's more like it rather than 500, 550 pounds. Right, we have a couple up there in the fairway, and luckily we have found the rogue ball, pardon the pun, of this video. I'm very glad I'm not playing in a medal and hit that drive. But then you see, a lot of this is about being honest with yourself. It's about being honest with, where are we? Here. It's about being honest about the clubs you're buying, about the money you're spending, about, well, I didn't realise those trees were that thick, but it's about making sure you don't think, oh, well, this driver's a little bit cheaper than the brand new one, but I've hit one into the trees, so therefore it has to be the driver's fault. That wasn't the driver's fault, it was the driver's driver fault, if that makes sense. Just like that drive there was down to me and my swing, and that's okay. And whilst I honestly believe we do see marginal gains when we do see new driver releases, I also believe that you need to start thinking about what generation driver you want. Do you need the latest and greatest? Is the previous generation just as good? Will it work as well for you and save you some money so you can invest that money into green fees, membership, golf lessons and everything else? Or do you feel like each generation does give you a massive boost in performance, or God forbid, enjoyment? Because that's why a lot of people change the cars, the watches, the golf clubs, the houses. And that may not be you. You may be the more pragmatic golfer. You may be the golfer who's like, right, is it going to perform better? Am I going to hit it further, straighter? Am I going to lower my scores? That's fine as well. There's no right or wrong here if you want to spend money on the latest and greatest, or the latest and dearest. But also, I think there's nothing wrong with going, you know what? I'm going to be a bit more frugal. I'm going to invest that lesson into lessons or my family or something like that. Here we have a drivable par 4 over the corner. Can we get there with an old model? Oh, that is so good. Be the club. I haven't heard anything. I think that may well be over. Let's go with a Paradigm. You notice how low that one actually went. That was obviously the Rogue LS. Let's go Paradigm Triple Diamond. Try and put a similar swing on it, same kind of ball. See if I think the Paradigm's easier to launch actually. Very different looking head. You can see just how easy that was to get up in there. I have been using this all season, maybe that's a little bit to do with it. Certainly sounds a little bit better. Is that enough to make you want to spend the cash on one of these? You can probably get a Paradigm Triple Diamond from Golf Clubs for Cash for a little bit cheaper than a new one now anyway. We all know that this cycle will be coming to an end eventually and replaced probably at the start of next year. We don't know what with yet, but if we look at Callaway's history, that's generally what's going to happen. Will that be a replacement for this model? Because usually we do have two models running in the Callaway family, an adjustable version and a non-adjustable version. Get in the comments below, what do you think there's going to be and what would you buy from Golf Clubs for Cash for the money on screen now. And a lot of people may be asking in this video, James, why don't you just use the Rogue ST all throughout the season? Why have you only brought it out for this video to show us what we can get for a good value? And for me, I do enjoy that element of audio feedback, of feel, of sound. It's not so much how it looks to me, it's certainly about that feedback that you can get. And for me, I get that massively through my ears and my fingers because feel is sound, technically. I mean, low-key, I actually can't wait to see what Callaway are bringing out in 2024 because personally, I think they've got a huge problem in that how do you replace the Paradigm? They've pretty much made an absolute beast that knocks everything out of the water for ball speed, feels fantastic, sounds amazing, and pretty much looks the part. Where do you go? I don't know, Paradigm 2? Go tailor-made-ish? Check these out, by the way. We're a little bit left of the green, but one of these is the all singing, all dancing £550 version, and one of them is £275 from Europe's biggest second-hand golf retailer. They're the same, they're the same. And now realistically from here, there is nothing between these shots. You could say there's a yard in it realistically, but there's nothing here that's going to dictate what score I'm going to make on this hole that has anything to do with the driver. That one sat a little bit better than this one, but then logically, should we make any different scores with these golf balls because of the shots that we hit off the tee? Bearing in mind you save yourself quite a lot of money. Oh dear. I mean, that's got to be, I need the new driver, don't I? There's no way I should have, if that was there, that was a closer one. Golf. Love golf. And you see, this is exactly why I wanted to test this inside as well, guys, because if you are going to buy a new driver, that one's pitching up there at 270, running up to 290, and with the money that I've saved, could I potentially invest that into some lessons for my golf game? That's what you have to start thinking when you are spending your money on golf. How much do you put towards your clubs? How much do you put towards your membership and your green fees? And how much do you put towards your lessons? I must say this driver feels incredible, and it's incredible to think that it's not a modern, in brackets, driver. This is going to be obsolete next year. That one's gone 291, spinning at 1792, ball speed at 160. If I can get a ball speed at 160 with any driver, I am doing particularly well, especially if it's in the fairway, which is quite rare for me. That's another one. I love how low that flight can be. I love that it's peeling back off to the right hand side. Let's say a couple more with the Rogue ST and then let's go Paradigm and see if you should spend your big money or even wait till the next year to see what's coming, because there's going to be something, isn't there? There's always something. TaylorMade, Callaway, there's always something on the horizon. Look at that for a snapper. That felt so strong. Get over the fence. Get over the fence. Paradigm. Is that straight past it? just bottle that. That's where the paradigm for me, that's pitching 5 yards further than the best Rogue ST, running up to 300 nearly, spin at 1900, ball speed 161.9. Yes, please. Is it worth the extra money though? Should you go to golf clubs for cash and buy a second-hand one? Right, that's frightening along. Don't hit the fence. Don't hit the fence. That's 270 in the air and it's still 6 foot up the fence. Right guys, as you've seen, the distances are marginal. Let's run back on the golf course and see just how much difference you really see spending your money on a brand new driver or a second-hand one that's going to be obsolete very soon. So I really hope that video has inspired you or just entertained you into thinking about what driver you would buy if you had to go and buy one today, tomorrow, or even next week. Remember, there are going to be deals on throughout Christmas as well on all these websites, especially Golf Clubs for Cash, so make sure you do go and check the guys out if you're looking for something in particular. Guys, thanks for watching. What would you buy? And apart from that, I'll leave you all with the best drive I've hit in a very long time. It wasn't bad. It might be gone. I don't think a new driver's helping that, is it? See you all tomorrow. Goodbye.